Final Resonance TV and episode number 11. Today I'm with James Irvin, one of my favorite drummers in the world.
Right.
Especially in Huntsville, Alabama.
Thank you.
James, as a lot of you know, plays for Microwave Dave and
The Nukes.
And
I don't know.
sometimes with Dave Anderson.
We play with at least once a week.
The Dave Anderson
Sometimes
Project.
Dave Anderson Project.
Original music stuff.
Original music stuff. Who else do I play for?
You do your jams.
Yeah, different jam nights.
Blues Jam Night, right?
Blues jam night on Sunday nights.
Right. What else?
Whoever calls me. Space Donkeys.
That's right. Space Donkeys.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, right. He's a free agent most of the time.
Jason D. Williams from Memphis, Tennessee. Every once in a while.
Yeah.
And, just whoever.
So tell them what you've done. Like, what were some of the bands like in the last 10 years?
10 years. Okay.
I'll say 5 to start with.
5 years.
5 years to start.
The same bands from 10 years ago.
All right. That's fine.
No,
Are you from Huntsville originally?
I grew up in a little area called Center Grove, Alabama,
Okay.
in the county of Morgan.
I was going to say, you told me it was somewhere near here, right?
It's just right down 67.
Really?
You get to the tree that's only got one branch, and you get a make a
That's it.
So, out in the middle of nowhere there. And, I think one of the first places I ever played isn't far from your house, actually, when I was a teenager.
Which place?
It would be called the Falkville VFW.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
I played some video days in my time. That's awesome.
So, the first stuff I was doing was, playing drums in country bands a lot of times. They would, my dad being a guitar player.
Well, let's go back to the beginning then.
Great.
Let's go back to when you were a little boy and what was the first thing that got you going with music?
When I heard, I must have been 3 years old, I guess, and I heard Creedence, Up Around the Bend.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what it was, but that song just did it for me.
Really?
And all of a sudden I became completely and totally obsessed with CCR.
Okay.
And I think my dad had some of their tapes, and he let me have them. And then anytime we would go to the store, I would have to find a CCR tape I didn't have. So
Old Man Down the Road.
Well, John Fogerty solo stuff too. That came with, but I was really obsessed with John Fogerty. But I learned to play drums with my snare drum when I was 3 or 4 years old, sitting on the bed listening to CCR, and just the straight eights and stuff like that
Right.
always appealed to me.
Did you think it? Like for me, when it was when I first started out, when I learned Paranoid, because it was just easy enough for me to get a grasp on. At that age, I was like, I just wanted to be able to do something.
Right. Yeah.
And like you're saying, CCR is pretty basic.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But that ended up being, you think about that in rock music especially, that, what Doug Clifford did that's like the basis for almost every popular rock song or whatever, anything that was on the radio at that time too, in the mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
That's what you were usually hearing. So I was pretty obsessed with them, and then John Fogerty solo stuff too, which he played drums on.
I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I always thought it was Kenny Arnoff, and
Really?
I found out that
was a mess.
Actually, so John Fogerty was the best drummer in Creedence.
Wow.
There's some. I remember seeing a video of him just going off on Doug Clifford about, "He's a shuffle man. You ever play shuffle?"
Right.
After that, man, it was when Appetite for Destruction came out.
Right. How old were you then?
Let's see.
It's 90, right?
It was 88, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. 88.
So it would have been 5 or 6 when that came out.
Okay.
No, I think 6 years old when that came out. And man, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I just loved that. I remember.
Did you like the drums or
every bit of it. Every bit of it.
So you were first on drums.
I started out with the snare drum, but I think it was handed down from my uncle. He had a set of drums and threw them away.
Okay.
My mom saved the snare drum and brought it home. So
your parents were pretty supportive?
Yeah, they're both musicians.
Oh, really? I didn't know. Okay. So what did they play?
Let's see, my mom played banjo and harmonica.
Okay.
Guitar somewhat too.
Wow.
My dad played guitar mainly, but mandolin and fiddle. I won't say violin, but fiddle. He's on a fiddle.
So they're in the country or what?
Not really. You know, they were rock music fans. My dad and still does a whole lot of stuff. You know, they played bluegrass a lot, but they were into all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
You know, my dad got.
So what do you remember around the house when you were a kid, music wise? Just highlights. So,
I remember
CCR obviously, but
yeah, I spent a lot of time in my room just doing that, listening to CCR and playing a lot of that, and then getting my dad's guitars out and stuff and messing with them. And I remember, when I was probably 4 or 5 years old, before I started school, and my 2 older sisters would be in school. Mom would get done cleaning the house or whatever. She'd get her banjo out and sit there in the living room for a couple of hours just playing on that.
Right.
Then my dad had his little music room set up, so he'd be in there. It was the 80s too. He got into synthesizers. So started, got a couple of synths and brought those in.
Do you remember what they were?
Because I've got one of them actually. So Korg Poly 800 would be one of them.
Yeah, Poly 800. Yeah.
Which is a great synth. So, but before that, it was a little Yamaha. I forget what it's called. It was one where the keys were that big.
They were short. Yeah,
short keys.
Yeah,
and I had the drum machine in it, so it was you could pick whatever.
Probably. Yeah, I can't remember what those were called, but
it was those. Rock, pop, bossa nova.
This is around the time of the DX series, or right after that, somewhere in there.
Yeah, probably right after DX7 and stuff like that. Right. A little compact version of it. But
I remember those.
Had 2 speakers in it.
Yep.
But it also had the drum pads on it you could play on or something.
Right, it was all in one kind of thing. I remember they did that. Yeah, that's awesome. So you had that around the house, and you were doing that, and then you got into drums. So you're always playing guitar and drums.
Well, I didn't actually learn to play guitar until a little later. Drums. I remember I've been begging for some drums for years. From the time I was 3 or 4 or whatever until when I was on my 8th birthday, my dad shows up small. I remember him going to music stores and pawn shops and stuff like that, all around Decatur, Huntsville, and whatever, Hartselle, looking
for kits.
Looking for kits. And I remember I was such an asshole because we would go to these music stores, and I'm like that, and my dad would explain to me. Yeah, for a drum set, playing drums. And I remember this one guy in the music store being like, "You ever thought of maybe a junior pro kit?" I don't want a junior pro kit. I want the real thing. Right. I'm wanting to look like Steven Adler up there. I'm wanting big drums.
How old are you at 12 or 13?
No, I was 6, 7 years old.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So finally on my 8th birthday, my dad comes in with this Atom brand. That was brand Atom, the atomic sound.
I think I remember that.
And they were red. They were full sizes.
Okay.
22-inch kick, 12-inch track tom, and a little cymbal on one side. I already had the snare drum. It came with the snare too, so I had 2 snare drums. So, and then
looks like my kit looks now.
But I was so excited just to have it, and we would set up in the living room.
Yeah.
And especially on weekends, and we lived out in the country. The only neighbors were family, so we would set up in the living room. My dad would, get his guitar amps out and stuff, and
you jam along with it.
And we just jam.
That's cool.
And that's how I got started playing drums.
So your dad was your first bandmate.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, because later on, these guys would call him, "Hey, Ricky, you busy tonight? We need a guitar player down here, whatever, having a dance." Dad would be like, "Yeah, sure. Well, hey, bring your boy too. We need a drummer."
Oh yeah.
So and there'd always be a kit there, something that had been sitting there for the 30 years this band had been playing there. There'd be, a floor tom with a big orange ashtray on it filled with cigarette butts or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, man, those country guys, those old school country guys. That's my first performances in front of people. It was playing old school honky tonkin'.
Right.
Country.
Like, give me one.
Oh man, that's the first time I ever heard.
You talking about George Jones? Or?
Oh yeah. I'm talking about That's the first time I heard.
I love you.
Oh yeah,
so, you had to play that one, right?
Of course we did. Like 3 times a night.
That's right.
Get them people on that dance.
I remember, I did that too. I remember that song.
But it was a learning.
A lot.
I remember, I was obnoxious because at that point, I was probably like 14 years old at that point. I was really into 311.
You're playing George Jones.
I was like, that's what
happened to me. I remember that. I remember, I was like into all kinds of metal, and I was playing George Jones during the weekends.
You were playing though. That's
right.
What the important thing was. But I'd gotten really into Dire Straits and stuff after the Guns N' Roses and Nirvana and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And Dire Straits were always there. Always, it was one of the bands my dad turned me on to because they would be playing. He'd have it on the home stereo or whatever. So that was always there, and I just always loved it. And I started listening to Dire Straits a lot, especially those first couple of albums, and I was wanting to learn guitar so bad at that point. Yeah, really. I just always wanted to
those
play
cool licks and
it was just
the finger picking too, like on Sultans of Swing and all that.
Yeah,
really awesome leads, and
there's still that. I think that's the one band that no matter when or where or how many times I've heard it, I can always go back and listen to pretty much any Dire Straits record and
dig it.
Yeah,
right. Right. So your first band was when?
Let's see. The first, that had to be like 96, 97. Playing drums in the country band. Probably 96. Playing drums.
And these guys are all way older than you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
They all sat down and played guitar and stuff. Chain smoked.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that's a good education. I've been there.
It was great, man.
They play with older guys.
Yes.
I think that everybody, like Dave said that too, that he had played with, guys that were, a good bit older than him at times, and that really helped him.
Yeah.
I mean, because you learn all the standards and you learn how to play.
Yeah,
you just play gigs and keep playing. Yes,
especially on drums. That's so important for drummers. I think is to learn how to adapt in whatever situation, because you're not having to worry about learning chord structures and all that. You're learning to play whatever fits for that song. So playing in those country bands, they really would stay on my ass about quit trying to be funky and just give me a straight, and I quote the guy,
right.
Straight 1 2 1 2. So it's like, I think I know what you mean, and was always what he always meant was hi-hat, kick drum, 4/4, and clicking the stick on the sax.
Right.
right. And then finally we'd get to play Elvira. All right.
Elvira.
I could hit the toms and it was great. Or
they must have been able to sing then. I guess.
Elvira, Kalijah, any of those I could let loose.
That's funny because some of the same places, like you're talking the VFW. I played in the VFW for a long time, and then and that's where I cut my teeth on a lot of standards.
Yeah,
that's where I learned all the Bob Seger catalog, the Beatles.
Oh, you got to play rock music.
I did for a minute, and then of course we had "Don't Close Your Eyes" and stuff like that. Some older country stuff and
wow,
Good Scootin' Boogie.
I played that one plenty, and that was modern at the time.
Right. The dance, we did the dance. Garth Brooks.
Oh yeah,
we did a lot. What was it? Liza Jane. Remember that one? Liza Jane? Little Liza Jane. That was I think
y'all do Neon Moon?
Yes, we did. We did Neon Moon. That was a big song, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
like that song. And it's simple, too.
Yes. You definitely can't do any 311 drumming on it.
No. That's one of them songs you were talking about. So you go from those guys to what happens then?
Then I also played with my sister Vicky and her husband Jason. He was a bass player and she played guitar. And he had a shop out in Athens, and we'd set up in there, and we just play, stuff we like. We just rock out on stuff, and we do it like almost every night. When I was 15, especially during the summer and stuff, we would.
So just fun.
That was just our thing. We would go, and we acted like. I think we all believed that we were going to actually do something with maybe get out and play, because we were rehearsing every night, same songs, adding stuff here and there, and it was a blast, Right. It was a blast. And I went from doing that, and then my other sister Jamie, we started, she wrote songs, and I was writing songs. Well, both sisters wrote songs, actually. But we were really bored, and we started recording some on my 4-track recorder. Yeah. I got really into doing that. I was loving that at the time.
Remember what recorder it was?
Oh, yes.
What kind?
Tascam. Porta
Studio?
Yeah, Porta Studio. 4-track cassette. Oh, man.
That was the thing, wasn't it?
You remember trying to find the really good high bias tapes? Only 60-minute ones,
right.
No 90-minute ones.
Right. They wouldn't work, they would sound bad, right?
The Maxells.
Yeah, the high bias. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of Maxell high bias in the box in there.
Yeah.
Proves that actually what you're talking about.
We did some demos with an acoustic guitar and her singing and me singing a little bit. Yeah. And we started trying to book gigs. I was 17 at the time. And we booked our first gig at Coffee Clutch.
Oh, really?
In Huntsville.
Wow.
We didn't know anything about the music scene in Huntsville really at all. So we just, go cold calling. We had copied on a dual cassette deck, copied down our tapes and everything, wrote our info on there, and put them in sealed envelopes to take them to these places. So finally, a few months later, Carol from Coffee Clutch calls and books us, and I think we played for tips.
Right.
We drove out from Arab where we were living. I was so green. I went and parked in the parking garage because I thought I had to, and then schlepped all my gear from the parking garage. And then I tell the bartender, "Hey, I didn't know I had to pay to park. I don't have any money," and I didn't. And I think we made like $100 that night.
Wow.
And we were like, "This is it. Yeah." Celebrate.
You made money.
Celebrate with some Waffle House on the. We made money playing stuff we wanted to play. It was so great, and original stuff. And I just started just looking for gigs and stuff. I got a gig playing bass in a band a couple years after that, and we played at Big Spring Jam. Oh, I really thought it was a big time.
Right.
It was cool. And Big Spring Jam was at its height right then.
Right.
That's to see the other acts.
What year was that?
That was 2001.
Okay.
So I did 2001, 2002, and then back to reality for a little while, and then back to trying to play gigs. So I finally picked up a weekly one and did that for about a year, and then.
What week was that? The weekly one.
The first weekly gig I got in town was hosting the open mic at Crossroads. Jim Kavanagh and Johnny Giles had already been doing that, I think, since the 90s, and their drummer had just moved. So I had been up to that open mic before and thought it was just awesome. Right. Such good players. So, hey, y'all need a drummer? Right. Yeah, actually we do. Cool.
That's what you gotta do.
Started doing that, and then started doing the Blues Jam a couple of months after that. And the Microwave Dave hired me.
And how did that? How long has Dave been around? Over total, like how many decades?
The Nukes started in 1989.
Wow.
But I think he's been gigging and traveling since the 60s.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He was in a popular circuit band in the 70s out of Fort Lauderdale, and he went from them to the Thrasher Brothers playing bass for that band, and then started the Nukes in '89.
So he'd been out there forever.
He had been out there for. My dad took me to sing when I was 11 years old. Big Spring Jam. My dad was a fan.
Wow.
I could care less. I was like, boom.
Yeah. You didn't know he was your future boss.
I was just, I wanted to rock.
Right. You want your angst coming on then, right?
I still do, but
yeah, you do.
I'm still using it. But yeah, I started playing with Dave in 2004, and I'd barely been anywhere at that point. Like, my first trip with him was to Myrtle Beach, and I'd never seen the ocean.
Oh, really? I still haven't seen the ocean. Wow.
So, yeah, we get out of the van, we go say hey to the people in the club, and then there's the beach. I'm like, and, started traveling a good bit and stuff like that. And,
yeah.
And really learning how to play. I think getting in that band is when I really that's when I really became a drummer. I think I was just knocking around before then.
Because you were gigging a lot.
Just getting to play a whole lot. That whole year, like 2003, 2004, that's when, everything started making sense, becoming comfortable. I think I got comfortable with playing in front of people, and, well, I don't know. I'm still working on that.
Well, yeah, but experience is experience. And when you're out there working, it makes it easier every time you do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
You just get used to it over time.
And I did that, and recorded with them. Got to, I think that was my first or second year in the band. It was also my first time flying was in the in that band. Yeah.
Wow.
In a Learjet, mind you.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
In a Learjet, too.
Yeah, I know. That was my first experience flying.
It's different when you're in a small plane, right?
Next time I flew, it was like,
yeah.
So,
in a small plane, it's scary. It can be really scary.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you go from Microwave Dave, you've been playing with them for
13 years now. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
It doesn't seem like it at all. It's been a blast.
That's like been your regular thing.
That has been the priority gig. We work a good bit, but having my own band was something I had always wanted to do that. So I did.
Right, you did your solo thing.
Did a solo album, and that came out in 2007, and all original and stuff. And, played a couple of shows from that, and then just nothing. And then years later, recorded another one.
Yeah, but your solo, like my solo and your solo records, there's something you got to do, right?
Yes, yeah. It's those songs had been there. It was all stuff I had written when I was a teenager, on the first one.
Right.
So I'd been itching. I had the opportunity to record them, so I was like, great.
Right.
And then the current one, which came out last year, I actually put together a band to play that stuff, and we've got to do some great shows. We all play in other bands, so it's not often that we get to.
So who's in your solo band?
Solo band would be Matt Ross,
right?
Left-handed bass player.
Man, he's awesome.
Yep. And then Charles Lyle, and I had maybe met Charles just a few months before asking him if he wanted to play music with me. He started coming up to the blues jam and things like that, and I remember watching him play and hearing. I'm like, this is unbelievable. Just really, really great drummer. Just chops for days and meter, everything you could ever want.
That's cool.
So yeah,
So it's just you three.
Just us three, yeah, and we recently we had played a show with the Dave Anderson Project and in my band, James Irvin Trio, had played on the same bill. So me and Matt were both in Dave Anderson Project, so we had to play in that band. So we made Dave play with us on second guitar, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun getting out two guitars.
That's cool. You forced him in your band.
Yeah, hey,
get over there.
He acted like he enjoyed it. I think he did.
I'm sure he did.
I'm gonna have him do it again one of these days.
That's cool. So some of these things. One of the things I was going to ask you about, like this unique, experiences. One of the things you told me about before was this Knoxville gig where you played at the Knoxville Civic?
Yeah, Civic Coliseum,
yeah.
That was so weird. My James Irvin Trio, me, Matt, and Charles.
Yeah.
I had them, we had rehearsed once, and I was like, man, you guys should come up to the blues jam, and we'll try some of these songs out in front of people.
Right.
And we weren't sounding solid by any means. and we get up and play a set, and never happens. Only in movies it happens. But I was like, hey, I'd like to put you guys on some shows. I'm a concert promoter. I'm like, okay, call me. Cool, we're not ready yet.
Somebody came with this.
It was like
cold, right?
He was like, well, it'll be a few months from now. I was like, well, cool, just call me. So I never heard nothing, and then somebody calls me and says, hey, so and so is looking for your phone number and they can't find it. Can I give it to them? I'm like, yeah. So the guy calls me, and he so our first gig was at the BBC Arena.
Oh, really?
Opening for the Spinners. That was weird. That was our first show.
Oh, wow.
I was like, wow, yeah, it's weird. And our next show was some arena in Chattanooga, and then the third one was the Knoxville Civic Coliseum,
which is famous for
Randy Rose's last show.
That's not Randy Rose's last show. In fact, I was watching Hailstorm. They just played there. Night before last, the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that gig, and I was thinking about that auditorium and Randy Rhodes.
His last show. And what's so weird about it is the place, and I know it has to, looks exactly the same as when he played his last show there.
Right.
I mean, I remember watching, because Kiss had played there. Anybody coming through Knoxville played there.
Right.
But I remember the dressing room we had, because we were out with Sister Hazel, which was cool getting to tap in for them. And they had the bigger, nicer dressing room, and then of course, and rightfully so.
Right.
But I was looking at our dressing room, and it had the old style, vanity mirrors with the big bulbs, and almost all the bulbs were missing. And I watched this video. I found this video of YouTube on YouTube of Kiss playing there and showing some behind the scenes stuff. They're in that same dressing room. Only all the bulbs were there then, but they're in there putting on their makeup. So and everything looks identical. Especially, I don't know about. I didn't go in the lobby or whatever, but especially backstage.
Right. There's probably some of the BJCC in Birmingham has been there since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I go in there, it's really strange to me. It's like, wow, it's still the same.
Yeah.
It's identical.
Well, VBC. I mean,
right. It's been around forever.
Yeah, inside the arena.
It's been there since the
75, maybe.
Been there for a long time.
I think one of the first
Elvis played there, right? Maybe it was the first.
Yeah, Elvis.
Was it Elvis?
Elvis played there. Hart played there the first year they had it open.
Wow.
I remember reading. I think it was my uncle's yearbook from that year that the BBC opened, and it had pictures of Hart in there.
Oh yeah.
From the BBC.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool. So yeah, it's been there for a while, but yeah, they updated the outside.
Right, the front.
It still smells the same too.
Right.
I'll tell you what's weird, man. Arena in the daytime, especially Knoxville, that place was really spooky in the daytime. It was a pretty big place.
Right.
And just, those lights are all up and all the seats are empty and there's just a couple of people milling around. It's kind of eerie.
Right. Those old places. Yeah, there's one in Birmingham called Boutwell. You ever been there? It's across from it.
Sure.
So that's crossing the BJCC.
Oh, okay.
And it was a place. It was kind of smaller, 6,000 seater, 6,500.
Yeah.
That's where Kiss would come when they weren't really. They're in the probably early 80s.
Early 80s Kiss.
Yeah, early 80s Kiss with Vinnie Vincent and all that.
No more BJCC for them.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they ever went back to BJCC or not. They probably have. All right, let's talk about your big Creed experience. your radio.
I had a feeling you might bring that up.
15 minutes of fame.
15 minutes.
In Vegas, too.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to actually go there for it, but
you called in to Vegas.
My voice was on there.
You were in Vegas.
Yeah, so it was. What year was this? Was this 2014? Maybe Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving Day. I had two shows that day, both with the Nukes, and the news had just come out where Scott Stapp was saying he was broken homeless, which I've been making fun of him for years.
Right. Right.
Why wouldn't you?
Right. Everybody does.
So when it came out, he was broken homeless, and my friends are sending me links like, oh. So I borrowed my girlfriend's trapper hat.
Right.
It's like a pink trapper hat or purple or something like that. Put on my coat, made a sign that said "We'll sing SANG Creed for food," and grabbed the guitar that I had laying around, which is my Univox High Flyer, Mozart copy electric guitar and had her come out and videotape me on my phone singing a parody of Higher, which was Can You Spare Me $1?
Right.
So I uploaded it to Facebook.
Did you ever put it on YouTube?
Yes.
Did it get views?
Well, that's funny because KOMP in Las Vegas, that's how they found it, was the YouTube, which barely is something like barely any views on it. But on Facebook one, it was so funny because I upload that and people, I don't even think it's that funny. I mean, it's like 5 minutes of effort. I just
Screwing off.
So I'm like, look, and then next day it's like 5,000 views. I'm like, what? Then Run Through was Rocket 95.1, shared it on their page. And all of a sudden, next time I'm like, 10,000 views, all right. And kids from school, from like grade school, were contacting me. I thought you were dead. Or did you go to Ryan school? Yeah, I'm not dead. And they're like, oh my god, weird.
I'm alive.
I'm alive. Look at what I've done with my life.
Parody artist.
So yeah, and then I get this email. It was on my Gmail account, which I never check, and I decided to check it. It was from like a week before or something. Yeah, from the morning show, Brittany and Sparks, KOMP in Las Vegas. Hey, I heard your Scott Stapp rendition. Would you like to call on our morning show? I'm like, yeah, totally. So we emailed back and forth. So he gave me the hotline number, and I called in. It was like a 20-minute interview.
Did they have you play it?
With Scott Stapp. They did have me play it on the radio. I did it with the same guitar, too, through a phone while I'm holding the phone. So, yeah, that was...
That was crazy.
That was so incredibly stupid.
I know, but it just... you know what I get?
Smallest amount of effort. I'm like, God, I've been trying with the music stuff so hard for so many years, spent my entire life.
Shows where your real talent is. In comedy.
I should have just went into comedy, man. That would have been...
Yeah. It'd be easier, right?
Probably not. It'd probably be just, if I would have been trying to that.
Right. If you've been trying it all, that would have probably been the problem. Right.
Exactly.
Jesus. So what other horror stories or road stories can you tell me?
Oh, man.
That you can tell me.
I was going to say
that you can actually tell me.
Incriminate anybody I know.
Right, probably done.
Probably not. But it hasn't been, I think it's just the people I've got to travel with and stuff like that. Nothing's really been too crazy. It's been pretty normal.
Yeah.
Pretty much normal. I do have one. It'll probably get Dave Anderson in trouble too. But
sorry, Dave.
He already knows what
I'll try to edit this if I have to.
No, this wasn't really
okay.
This was being out of town.
All right.
But there's certain people I just shouldn't hang out with. So this is probably like 2009 or something. And I was in Daytona Beach. We were playing Bike Week, and this is 10 days, but we usually do one stop before that, so 11 days or whatever. This is the last Saturday night, which is the most wild and crazy night.
11 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
How many sets you doing? 3?
Well, you do 4-hour nights, so usually 2 sets.
Okay, 2 long sets.
But David called me while I was down there and asked me, if I could fill in for him at Voodoo, because at that time he was playing Tuesday, I was playing Wednesday, so it made sense. I was like, well, I'm at Daytona Beach playing Bike Week. He's like, oh, are you really? Well, I'm going to be down there with ARS Saturday night. I was like, cool, man.
Right.
Should come to the show, whatever. Come see us, whatever. So we're playing our last set. We're playing, and he comes walking up. We're playing. We're finishing up. We start drinking. And he's stressing out because he's got to get up to, I think it was like Ormond or something like that where his band was playing. So we get a cab up to his gig, and we get there and we get in the door and drink. ARS did great. It had been a long time. I had not seen him since David had been in the band.
Right.
Anyway, so we leave that show. We go back to the place where I was playing because they're up until like 3. Drink. Somebody, and I feel guilty about this too because the guy who brought this guy is somebody I know from playing down there. He's a super nice guy. So he brings the guitarist from Shinedown over to meet us, and I'm sitting in a high top bar stool, and I say to the guy, "That's 'cause Shinedown and suck." He pushed me out of the high top bar stool up off the ground, and I'm just. Well, I haven't had a drunk like that since.
You got in a fight with Shinedown's guitar player.
Well, the guys I know who worked there did, I guess. Almost did.
Which one? Not the one that's in it now.
Probably. I don't know.
There's a J. One was Jason.
No, he's a short guy.
Oh well, that's probably the guy from Memphis.
Anyway,
yeah, that's the one I know.
I don't even think. I don't know if Dave said what was going on. This is just what was told to me the next day. I had a vague little, but I remember. I think it was about 3:00 in the morning. I was just stupid, and Dave's out with me. He's like, "Dude, I got a flight out Atlanta in like 3 hours."
Time to go.
So he calls me the next Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
After we're home, this is Saturday night. Next day, man, I can't believe I made it home without destroying the van with barf because I was sick, man. I was so sick. It was terrible. People were mad at me. It was one of those. I heard a lot. I had big steroided dudes coming up to me the next day. You almost died last night.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
You got in trouble.
It was Dave's fault.
Dave's fault. Y'all heard him. He's innocent.
But made it home. Following Wednesday.
Yeah.
I guess David played it for you the night before. He didn't want to pack up his stuff. Hey, brother. Hey, man. Do you want to just use my stuff tonight? Yeah, man, that's fine. Do I kick your ass or do you kick mine? Dude. we're both still just sick from our little adventure there. So that was one of my more memorable because it was somebody I know was involved with it, and we were in the same place at the same time, out of town, which is a recipe for disaster.
All right. Yeah, you're right. It's probably the guy that's in the band now.
Sorry, Shinedown.
That's all right, Shinedown. We're sorry about that. So I got these last questions for you. You ready?
Yes.
All right. The first one's simple. Well, not really. Describe your feelings about music in one word.
Everything.
Okay. You did it. That's the fastest one yet.
Yeah.
All right. The state of the music business. What do you think? Is rock dead or not?
Well, as far as the stuff they're releasing on the radio,
yeah.
It's been so dead.
Right.
Not Foo Fighters excluded.
Right.
They're up here. They're always excluded from
the normal stuff.
I've heard a few things that sound a little more like old school 70s rock, which is good, but you know,
Rival Sons or something like that.
Well, I'm not even sure, but all I know is they sound like they're just a carbon copy of something that's already done.
A retro.
And it's either that or, you got your bands like Shinedown, which
are not even that popular. I mean, the rock scene in general. I mean,
right.
You're having these bands. I mean, they're going out 3 and 4 on tour just to.
Yeah, I know. It's the bad thing. What you hear on the radio for rock is those bands who were popular in the early 2000s when that whole new rock thing, whatever you want to call it, started.
Right.
That overproduced, horrible.
Right.
Ugh. But you still get that. You still get more bands coming out like that, and that's what they're releasing as rock. It's like they're just kind of like what they did with with the hair bands.
Yeah, they overdid it.
Down at the end of that, it was like people were like, "Man, Nirvana ruined. They ruined good rock and roll." It's like, no. If you look at 1990,
it was oversaturated. I was just in the club last night, and they were playing all this hair metal stuff, and And Angela was there, and she was making comments about these guys. And I said, this is why Nirvana wiped it out.
Yeah.
It's because they signed everything after a certain point. And you saw the ones that were originals are still around.
Right.
AC/DC, Van Halen, Foreigner, all those bands survived.
Yeah, and they're all played on the radio all the time.
Still.
And even the ones from the hair metal day. I mean, you look at Poison. Who's like Poison?
Right.
Poison are a great band, and they had good songs.
Well, that's when they survived too. And Bon Jovi even survived.
Yeah.
They survived and had good songs.
Cinderella even kind of.
Yeah. But there were a crap load of bands you don't remember their names. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There were so many.
The same hair, same guitar. I mean, I remember this one video. I don't know if it was for Nitro or whoever it was for.
Nitro.
But dude's got 6 necks on each side of his guitar, and it's like,
Michelangelo.
I'm like, that's what this has come to.
Yeah.
And you want to blame Nirvana?
It was just it was an inevitable change. It's just and maybe that's going to happen again. I'm not sure.
I think somebody's gonna
come on.
It's just gonna take something fresh. That's real, not like we're gonna bring back the rock the way it was in the 70s, and that's bullshit.
Right.
It's been done. It's great.
Yeah.
And there's not gonna be another Led Zeppelin. There's not gonna be another Beatles.
No.
There's not gonna be another Van Halen.
No.
It's gonna take somebody doing something new. And by new, I don't mean guys with long beards playing banjos and ukuleles over a DJ. It's
right.
So much horse shit out there, but I do still believe there is good stuff out there. And maybe it'll take, something with the record industry pretty much seems dead.
Yeah, it's going to have to be sort of like it is now, sort of a DIY.
That seems to be the thing, but the record labels have jumped on that bandwagon. So let's make these guys look like DIY, but let's put a few $1 million behind them.
Right.
And
right.
So that's
true. That's true too. So as far as advice for young musicians, guitar players, drummers, singers, what would you say?
Cut your hair and get a real job.
Right. You heard it. Don't be like us. Unless you want to suffer.
Just, devote yourself to it. If that's what you want to do, be completely devoted. Practice, try to learn as many songs as you can, play as many styles of music as you can, Just, if you get in a rut, listen to something different, try to learn something different,
Right.
Don't take advice from drummers.
Did you hear that, J Boss there? That drummer told me that. He's actually a guitar player. There's no video of him playing drums today.
That's fine. Take advice from drummers. Take advice from guitar players. Just don't listen to bass players.
That's right. You're gonna get yourself.
Don't you throw a drowning bass player? He's there.
God, that's hilarious. Well, I'm gonna see some video of him playing some drums now.
Okay, cool.
And then we appreciate you being with us today on Musical Journeys with James Irvin.
Thank both of you for listening to me.
Yeah, and go see James play with Microwave Dave and the Nukes and the Dave Anderson Project.
Yeah.
And the gym. It's now a new location.
Oh, the Tuesday night jam.
Tuesday night jam
at Sidetrack. October 17th.
And then your
Blues Jam every Sunday night at Lone Goose.
Okay.
Downtown Huntsville.
What's your other gig?
Let's see. Solo
Irvin.
Every Monday night at Voodoo Lounge, downtown Huntsville.
And sometimes he's with the Space Donkeys, which means he's with me.
Anytime they give me a call.
That's right. I call you all as much as possible.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. Rock on, y'all.